Greetings, folks. When I last put out one of these lists and one of these recordings a little over a month ago, the list that follows, as they always do, went up to the 23rd of August. And you'll notice if you take a look at the list, it still just goes up to the 23rd of August, even though it's been a month later, because we have filled in things right and left between now and then. And in fact, over that period of time, but actually from now until then, there's 20, I think 26 events on the list in the Northeast. From now until the 3 months from now in July, there is only one Saturday in that entire time period that there is not something going on somewhere in the Northeast. In fact, I'm just going to talk about the rest of April and May today, and I have 12 events just in that period. So I'm going to have to change, I think, the format of these a little bit in that I really can't give you all the details on everything as far as, what classes, costs, and so forth, simply because I'd be going on forever with all of the events we have coming up. There is, however, an event page or a flyer up for all of them. And so you can look up some of the details once you see from listening to this, and also see from the list what exactly it is that you might be interested in. So let's get to it. And once again, the list is complete. I'm not necessarily going to talk about every event here, but the list is as complete as I can make it from what I find. And quite frankly, sometimes the promoters don't make it easy to find their stuff, but this is what I've come up with over the next couple of months. So, this coming weekend, I'm not going to talk that much detail about either of these because this next weekend I've already talked about last month. That's the weekend of the 26th April. Two things going on there, specifically sit-down nationals in Yorktown, Virginia, and also there's the Ohio Tri-State Tournament in Loveland, Ohio. The sit-down nationals, which have been going on for some time, are have the amateur, amateur pro. Actually, I think they call it novice, but amateur pro, masters, 40, 50, 60, women. If they have women, enough women to show up to make a class there. This year, as I mentioned last month, we're going to be back in the gym, which we were at for some time, rather than down on the waterfront, which just was too problematic. It was federal property, and just getting the various permissions was just a royal pain in the rear. But so we'll be back at the gym and having that, like I say, on the 26th with an after pool in the gym, following that. The Ohio Tri-State, I presume the Tri-States in this case have to be Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, will be in the Cincinnati area in Loveland, Ohio, with the various pro and amateur classes, and also kids and women. And the pro will have some cash payouts on that one. So enough about both of those. Moving on to things I really haven't talked about in the past broadcasts. May the 3rd. Three items going on there that I know about. The battle at Antietam, which is one I'm going to be running brackets at in Hagerstown, Maryland, will be the standard novice, amateur, pro. We have a Masters 40, Masters 49. What we are going to do differently this time is we're also going to throw in a sit-down class for those who want to try that, and but are not up, going to Virginia for the sit-down nationals the week before. But we will have a sit-down class with just two weight classes, dividing at 200 for those who want to try that at the Antietam Brewery, conveniently located right off of Interstate 81 in Hagerstown, Maryland, and fairly close to Interstate 70 there as well. But so we're hoping to have a good turnout at that one. Also the same day, out on Long Island will be the Jason Vale tournament taking place in, I believe, New Hyde Park is the name of the town. That is a strap tournament, meaning all rounds start in the straps, in recognition of the late Jason Vale, who was very good in the straps. I would like to get to that one, and I mention this because it's frankly one of the few things I'll fight my way through New York City traffic to go to Long Island, because Yeah, it's a good tournament. I'm not able to though because, as I say, that's on the same day as the one we're running at Hagerstown. I'm mentioning this specifically because apparently there's word out on the streets, some grumbling that we set our tournament on the same day as we basically planned our tournament on the same day they did, which is absolutely not the case. First place, it probably wouldn't overlap with them that much anyway. I think the one person that goes probably go to both is me. But they were definitely originally going to be on the 17th, had to move it to the 3rd, but had to believe it had something to do with the venue. And so they landed on top of us. And so it's unfortunate because, like I say, I would like to get to both of them. But, any idea that we're, deliberately putting our stuff on top of theirs, as some people are saying, is sorry, not true. That's fake news on this particular occasion. They will be having some cash payouts on that. And like I say, if you're out on Long Island, it's a good tournament. Basically, hit the road towards it. Third thing on the 3rd of May, there's a Twin State tournament, Twin States in this case being New Hampshire and Vermont, which is taking place in Haverhill, New Hampshire, which sometimes, depending on looking at the brochure, it says Haverhill, sometimes it says Woodsville, same place. But in any event, they have the amateur pro, 5 classes of each, ending at, with super starting at 220. Women and masters is open. They will have some $500 total cash payouts for the pro overalls. And so, what they also have at that one mentioned, mentioned things that are a little bit different, is there on their program, it talks about a grip bar challenge raffle, which I'm not sure what exactly a grip bar challenge raffle is, but that is there as well. And so if you have a decent grip and want to go take a look in New Hampshire, what's going on there, you might want to give that some thought on the 3rd. 17th of May, two things going on there. One that's a little bit farther than normally we talk about, but occasionally I go out of the Northeast and talk about events that are of interest to folks in the Northeast, and that's specifically talking about the USAF Nationals, which are taking place in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And that's the one you have to go to if you want to go to the WAF Worlds, which this year are taking place in fall in a basically a seaside resort on the coast of the Black Sea in Bulgaria. And so they have, as usual for both WAF and the IFA, they have 72 gazillion classes, at that one. And so that, like I say, is in Myrtle Beach and pretty far in the convention center, which I'm told is well removed from the place in Myrtle Beach where they were having the fire trouble a little bit, a couple of months ago. And so also on the 17th is VAL is having another one of their regular quarterly events at the same location, Mechanicsville, Virginia, that VAL War in that case. Nice tournament. I went to their last one. I mean, I won't be able to get to this one because actually I have a non-arm wrestling event, social engagement going on that day. But they have indicated on their brochures that they are having Devin Larratt showing up at that one. So if you want to, meet up with Devin yourself, from what I gather, when he shows up, he basically grips up with anybody for the next 6 hours, and great stamina. And so that, as I say, is at the in Mechanicsville to VAL on the 17th. 24th. The New England on 24th May. New England is running another one of their series of tournaments. This one, the New England Maine Mayhem in Buxton, Maine, which is fairly close to Portland, just west of Portland. I'm going to get to that one. That's a little bit farther than I would normally go to a tournament, largely because, as those of you who have seen me at tournaments know, I believe the technical term for my tournament performance is sucks. But I've never pulled in Maine, either at a practice or a tournament, and so I want to add that will be my 24th state to have pulled in, either in a practice or a tournament or both. So I'm going to go up to that. There they do have the pro, the amateur, novice, women's, kids, masters, and so forth. Also, one thing that they do there, at the various New England tournaments is a record your points. If you place in one of the classes, they record whatever points are for the class in which you would have gained the greatest number of points. So don't ask me to explain the point system because I really don't understand it at all. But the bottom line is what they do when you go to their tournaments is they record your points, and at the end of the year, at their last tournament, they will have some big cash payouts to the persons who got the greatest number of points over the course of the year. So they suggest that's one way to get you to come to a number of their tournaments and run up run up your points total. So that is, let's just say that those are 24. It's on the 24th of May. 31st of May, there are three items. The Vermont State's taking place in North Ferrisburgh, Vermont. There they have amateur pro, also women, both amateur and pro, and masters. They specifically mentioned no kids classes at that, which I mention only because some people might think that that they did, because I'll tell you, the tournament I have been to, there's one at a county fair in Vermont every summer, where they have the largest number of kids, and I mean young kids, up to like age 12, that I have ever seen in a tournament. They pack the kids into that thing, and it's really great, great event. But I haven't seen that one advertised yet for this year. But this one, Vermont State, as I say, is doesn't have kids, but does have all of the other adult classes. Two other things going on the 31st. Dawg Fights is having another one of their super match events out in Cleveland, Ohio. That's the Cleveland folks, captained by Kevin Palco, is having one of their dog fights on the 31st. And also the Frank Hurst summer party picnic practice, whatever you call it, is returning. Apparently, Frank used to have really great practices. His place hasn't done it for the last couple of years, but is bringing that back at his place in Plainfield, Connecticut. I did ask somebody who's been in the arm wrestling gig for a while as to if he'd ever been to one. He said, "Oh yeah, they used to have some really great ones there." So I think I'm going to go up to that. You'll find that, by the way, listed in Facebook, not under Frank Hurst, but under Frank Prez, Prez, which is what he goes by on Facebook. So if you go looking for it, that's where you're going to find it. But I figured a lot of you might not know who Frank Prez is, so I'd mention that at Frank Hurst. So as I say, that takes us up to the end of May. We have another pile of events in June, July, August, and so take a look at the list and hope to see you at one or more of these.